What's going on, YouTube peeps and bariatric freaks? Welcome back to Back to Basics. I'm James White Guy, and I'm your Friday vlogger. So this week, as you know, we were answering questions to a book that Janie had run across and read. And before I get into that, let me apologize for the lighting. I know it's horrible. It's late at night. It's the only chance I got to make this video. It's been a hell of a day. So I got to work with what I got, right? So apologize for the lighting. Anyway, if you follow this channel, you know kind of what we're touching on this week. And I'm just going to kind of read through the questions. I'm going to try to keep it short, sweet, and simple this week, and give you my take on the questions. So the first one is, do you eat until you get full? Yes. Sometimes I will eat a little further than being full, which I clearly shouldn't do. I should probably stop once I feel like I've had enough, but I tend to go until I'm full. And there are some times where once I'm full, once I know that I've had enough, if there's some on the plate and the plate is in front of me, I will still tend to pick at it, and so have more, go beyond being full. It's probably something I should work on, but I am guilty of that. The next question is, do you know when you are full? Absolutely. I've heard other people talk about it. For me, when I'm full, I start to sneeze. That's the telltale sign that I'm done. I've had enough. So I do know when I'm full. And again, I could tell that by I start to sneeze when I'm full. So do you measure or weigh your food? If so, were you given guidelines by your surgeon? I do not measure, and I do not weigh. Excuse me. I do track. I calorie count, count calories, carbs, protein, things like that, and that's usually, I try to stay within about a 1,300 calorie range a day, and so that's usually how I track my food, measure what I eat. There was a point where I was measuring and weighing my food. I've kind of gotten away from that. My surgeon did give me guidelines to follow. Quite honestly, I don't do that anymore. I did when I'm 9.5 months out. I did when I first started for the first few months, but I've kind of gotten to a point where I can pretty much guesstimate just by looking, because I've done it so often, like how much 1/4 of a serving is of some of the items that I eat, like cheese, or half a cup of cheese, which is shredded cheese, which is something I eat a lot of. But I have it so often that I'm able to just kind of guesstimate, and it isn't an exact science, but I've done it so much that I'm able to kind of pretty much get it close. Should I go to weighing and measuring? Yeah. I think that's a good way to stay on tracking and kind of get a better idea, a more exact number of what I'm taking in. But for me, if I'm off a few calories, for me, that doesn't carry a whole lot of weight, or I don't put a whole lot into that. But tracking kind of helps me stay accountable to that. If I stop tracking, then I get way off. But as long as I track, I tend to find that I stay within my range. So weighing and measuring aren't as important to me now. The next question is, do you have an appetite, or do you eat because you have to? we all eat because we have to, right? But I do get an appetite. There are times when I'll tend to get really hungry. If I don't plan well, I'll go a good period of time without eating, and so then I start to build up this appetite, which is probably the wrong thing to do, because then I start to eat. That's usually when I tend to eat more than I should be. But I do get an appetite, and that's usually when I know it's time to eat. Sometimes, I mean, if I don't plan, then I can tell. Okay, like on the weekends is usually when I'm worse at planning. During the week I'm fine. On the weekends I can feel, okay, I'm getting hungry. It's time to eat. I should probably plan better on the weekends, but I'm not perfect, and that's where I tend to slack. And usually when I go off the appetite feeling when it comes to eating. Are you successful at not drinking when you're eating? This is a big one. I think this is one a lot of us struggle with. I know in the book that Janie was talking about, it said you should wait an hour and a half to 2 hours after eating to drink. That's just crazy. For me, that's just not an option. I do not drink when I eat. However, I will drink like right up to before I eat. Maybe that's wrong, but that's just what I do. So I would drink up to right up to before I eat. After I eat, I tend to wait, 20 minutes. I think the average or the normal you hear people talk about is, at least wait 30 minutes, which is kind of what my surgeon has said also. I tend to wait 15-20 minutes depending on what I'm eating. If I'm eating dense protein, I usually wait longer. If I give in and I eat carbs, things, slider foods, things that go down easily, I will probably drink a lot sooner than that 30-minute mark, the 20-minute mark. I would probably wait 10-15 minutes to take in a drink, and it's usually just sip 1 or 2 drinks. We should wait much longer, minimum 30 minutes, I reckon, to drink after we eat. I usually don't do that. Again, it will depend on what I just ate, because there are some times where I'll eat something and I'll be really, really full, and then I wait a minimum 30 minutes before drinking. But there are a lot of times when I'll snack, eat a protein pack, or eat certain items and not feel like I need to wait the full 30 minutes. So that's my take. But I do not drink when I eat. So that's my take. Those are my answers. All right, sorry about that. Had a phone call come in. That's my take. Those are my answers. So that's what I got for you. I hope you guys have a good Friday and a wonderful weekend, and we will talk again. Take care.